Okay, so I just uploaded a video about this beautiful tomato, which I don't know what kind it is, with this amazing splotching. So I don't know what kind it is. I think it's some kind of brandy wine mix, but I'm saving the seeds. So I guess if you know how to read, you've already seen the title of this video, and I'm gonna do head-to-head, I guess, challenge. Whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna try to, because this is something that's been kind of bothering me. People they feel they have to do this fermentation thing in order to save seeds. Fermentation of the seeds allows for perhaps better storage of the seeds. Perhaps, you know, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sure how these things work exactly. I've never really tried it. But I think that fermentation is supposed to help the seeds last longer. They certainly are easier to handle because they have no residual gel around the seeds, which might make them stick to the seed packet or whatever. What I normally do is I just like scoop out the seeds out of my tomatoes, rinse them off, and put them on a piece of paper to dry for like a day, and then the next day or two I just basically fold up the piece of paper and put the seed packet away. Not the pack, well, I mean, this kind of is a seed packet, but I put the folded up piece of paper away for future planting, and that has worked for me perfectly for many years. My mother used to do something similar to that. She never rinsed the seeds. She would just like put the seeds on a paper towel or something like that, and that's how she would save her seeds, and it worked just fine for her too. But I guess me being a little bit wanting to I guess be a little neater and cleaner about things, I like to rinse the seeds. That's what I'm doing here. Actually, I'm gonna try and get some of this good gel out of here, because this is nutritious stuff too. I'm not even sure what I'm gonna do with these tomatoes. I might just stick it in a salad or something. Anyway, so this is what I do, and then I rinse the seeds very well. Try and get as much of that pulp off the seeds. Alright, so there's still a lot of goo on there, but once it dries, I believe that goo gets neutralized. Okay, so I don't ever like to use like a fresh piece of paper, so this is basically just you know, junk mail that I took. I opened up the envelope, and this is a perfectly good piece of paper now. And I have labeled it Mystery Brandy Wine, yellow splotched, and dated 2019 to make sure that I know, you know, if I ever happen to like misplace it or something like that, I know how old these seeds are, and I know exactly what it is. So I'm just going to spread the seeds as thinly as possible into one layer. And then this I'm going to stick someplace in the kitchen, probably on top of the fridge, to dry. Alright, so putting these aside, I'm gonna work on this. So these are orange banana tomatoes, which I will ferment. I'm not gonna rinse them off. I think some people do rinse them off beforehand. I'm just gonna put the pulp right in there in this little jar, and I'm gonna let them sit for maybe 3 days. I think that some people have done it 2-3 days, and that's sufficient. When I first started hearing about this fermenting thing, people would do it for like a week, 2 weeks, a month. And of course, you know that when you put something to ferment that long, it's gonna stink. So I just was never willing to try this particular technique. But because I have seen that some people do it and it only goes for 2 days, 2-3 days, then I will try this. And this is only just to sort of dispel my own bias, I guess. Alright, so it's just a little bit of water in there. I'm gonna let that sit for a couple days. I may or may not cover it. I don't think it really matters. Probably gonna sit this on top of the fridge in the same place as the seeds that I'm drying. Whatever. Anyway, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. So I guess I just wanted to like sort of talk about the reason for all this. You know, the reason why you want to dry your seeds properly and or ferment them first to get the gel off, because that gel that surrounds the tomato seeds is actually a growth inhibitor or germination inhibitor. So in order to keep a tomato with the seeds from growing inside the tomato, that's why you have that inhibitor in there. So although sometimes I have cut a tomato open and found little seeds growing, so it's not always the perfect situation. I think that maybe some varieties have more or less of that inhibitor. So that's why you have some seeds that will actually germinate inside a tomato. But that's why you do that, so that when you plant your seeds to grow in the garden, they will germinate. Because if you don't take care of that situation, if you just plant them straight out of the tomato, yeah, they'll germinate, but it'll take a while because that inhibitor, it's an enzyme, has to break down a little bit before the seeds will actually grow. So, so I guess I'm trying to figure out for myself, really, is there a big difference? Is there a big difference in germination rates, in storage longevity? I guess that question will only be answered over time, and I don't think I can make a video about that. Maybe in a couple of years I will try that. Anyway, let me see, what else did I want to say about that? I think that's it basically. You know, it's just important that you make sure that you do something about that seed coat, the seed gel coat. I believe honestly that the gel is neutralized once it dries. So that's why when I just rinse my seeds and put them to dry on a piece of paper without fermenting, I think that that's perfectly sufficient. And I think that actually it's a waste of time, if I'm being honest. I think it's a waste of time to ferment, even if it is only a day or two. But anyway, I'm doing this just to kind of like, you know, for my own curiosity sake, and I'm sharing this with you to see if you might have an opinion about this. And so let me know what your thoughts are on this. Do you think it's best to ferment or not? Do you care? Have you even ever considered that? Do you even do that? Do you even save seeds? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Okay, so this is actually 4 days later. There's a bunch of stuff that's settled on the bottom, but I don't think it's seeds. I'm not really sure. But in the meantime, I'm smelling it. It's not too terrible. I usually would be like, oh, I'm not going to deal with that funky funk, you know, fermenting seeds, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, it's not too terrible. It's only been 4 days, so, gonna rinse these out. Yeah, so the gel rinses off very nicely, very cleanly. So that's desirable, I guess. Okay, so I prepared a little piece of paper, and smear it. So the process here is about the same as if I hadn't done the fermentation. Just, you know, smear it on the paper, let it dry for a few days. Meanwhile, this is already ready, so, you know, if I needed to send it to somebody, these seeds are set. This is what I basically do. I would just, you know, scrape off the seeds. They're clean, they're good. Like I said before, I think that basically the gel growth or germination inhibitors are neutralized by drying in and of itself. So whether you take the time to ferment, you know, you then get nice clean loose seeds, or else just dry them straight out of the tomato. I guess this depends on whether or not you want to spend the time, you know, to do that. This is a quicker mode, I think. Saves a step, and I think it gets essentially the same results. This, I think, will be a little bit cleaner. I guess I'm gonna show you after a couple days of this drying. So, okay, so this is about 2 days after I rinsed off the fermented seeds. As you can see, well, these are some of the seeds that I popped off, but they stick pretty hard to the paper, and it takes a good amount of effort to pop them off. Not a good amount, but, you know, they don't just flick off the fingernail. You have to really get in there and prick it off. But anyway, yeah, so these seeds look nice and clean, very professional. So yeah, but honestly, I still don't see any advantage to doing this versus what I did with these, which is just rinsing them off. I just rinsed them off, put them on the paper, they dried, folded up the paper, and now it's ready to be stored. This has been ready 4 days before this, so for my purposes, I'm going to continue to do this, use this method, and you know, that's it. I mean, if anybody out there can tell me, you know, how they really are better convinced that this is a much better procedure, that it's worth the extra time, please let me know in the comments. You know, we're all learning together, so anyway, that's all there is to it. Meanwhile, here's one of those amazing beauties. It's like a yellow brandy wine. It's a mystery tomato that I discovered in my garden this year, and most delicious. I was reading a comment by Marie Curie, and she said that I guess she seems to recall that the brandy wines do have a very luscious, silky kind of texture, flavor being very smooth. And yes, that's exactly what this is. Just an amazingly delicious. This is my favorite tomato of the year, so this is the winner. This is the winner right here. So I have some seeds willing to share. Anybody want to, get some of these seeds? Let me know. I'll send some to you. We can work things out. So let me know your request and we can figure it out later on. So thanks for watching.